All right, so in today's math lesson, we're going to multiply fraction by fraction again, but this time we're going to be looking at visual models to see what that looks like, okay? So write down everything you know about multiplying by fractions, and then we'll get started. Oh, remember to write this down in your math notebook. All right, before we get started, you're going to need some supplies for this lesson, okay? So you're going to need 3 different color pencils, preferably green and red, because that's what I'm using, so that way it'll make it easier. I'm using a light green and I'm using a light green and a red. You can see there. That's what I'm using. And then I've also used just a pen, just a regular pen. Okay. That's what I used for this lesson. Or you can just use your pencil, but you do need 2 different colors, like green or red. I think if you use the green or red, it'll be easier so you won't get confused because that's what I'm using. And then I'm just, you can use a plain white copy paper for this. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Okay, so this lesson has to do with area. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? Right, you multiply the length times width, that equals area, right? So this is just another way to think about the products of fractions, just another way of looking at it, all right? Okay, here I have the math problem, 2/3 times 4/5. So I know that 2 times 4 is 8 and 3 times 5 is 15. So I know my answer is 8/15. But I want you to think about what that means visually, okay? So the way to do this visually, you don't need to do this, but I'm just showing you right now. You'll have to do it in just a minute. So 2/3, I'm going to divide that up horizontally, right? I have 3 equal parts and I shaded in 2. That's what that looks like. 4/5, I'm doing this one vertically. So one has to be done horizontally, the other one has to be done vertically, and you'll see why in just a second. So this one tells me I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts, and I have 4 of them, which gives me 8/15. Now, if I were to lay one on top of the other, this is what I would get. So if I take my 2/3 and I slide it over on top of my 4/5, this is what I'm going to get. And the double shaded part right here, see this right here, this double shaded part, this area right here that's double shaded, that's my 8/15. So if you look at it, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I have 15 equal parts altogether. And how many are double shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8/15. So that's saying that I have 4/5 of something and I'm taking 2/3 of it. So that's just another way to look at it. So that gives me 8/15. So basically, how you do this, you start off by doing one of them. And here's the 4/5. So I did the 4/5 ahead of time. So I drew a rectangle and I divided it up into 5 equal parts and I shaded 4 equal parts. Now, my other fraction says I have 2/3, right? 2/3. So I'm going to divide it up now because this one's done um, vertically. So my 2/3 has to be done horizontally. So I'm going to divide this as best as I can into 3 equal parts. And excuse my not so straight lines, kind of hard to do with my mouse. Then now I have my 3 equal parts, and how many do I need to shade in? 2. I'm just going to make some squiggly lines to show that. I need 2 out of the 3. And as you'll see again, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of the 15 are double shaded. So that's how you do those. Okay, let's look at another example. 1/2 times 3/8. And if I were to draw off the 1/2, right, this is what it would look like. One rectangular piece divided into two pieces, and I have one shaded. 3/8, I'm going to divide it up into 8 equal pieces, and I'm going to shade in 3. The math I know is easy, but I want you to visualize it because I want you to see what's happening. So you have 3/8 of something, and you're taking half of it. Half of the 3/8 is going to give you 3/16. Now let's see what it looks like. Again, I'm taking my 1/2 here and I'm overlaying it on top of my 3/8. And you see that I get 1, 2, 3 that are double shaded. 3 out of the 16 are double shaded. So if I have 3/8 on something and I take half of the 3/8, I'm going to get 3/16. Now let's try that together. So go ahead and with your pen or your pencil, draw a square, draw a pretty big square on your white paper, divide it up into 8 equal pieces and shade in 3, and do your lines vertically, okay, and then come back to me. All right, so now that you have that drawn, now let's do the second part, right? Because now it tells me that I have 1/2 of it. So what do I have to do? I have to divide this in half. So let's draw a line with your green colored pencil. Okay, draw it in half. You don't need to color it in completely. I just like to do big lines. But if you want to color it in, you can. I'm not going to color it in. Okay. And what's double shaded? 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 16. So this is just another way to see what's going on with our fractions. You're taking, remember I told you you're taking a part of a part. You have 3/8 and you're taking a part of that. You're taking half of the 3/8. That's what's going on. Okay, let's do this one together. So write down your math equation, 5/6 times 1/3. Write down what it equals. I'm not so concerned right now what it equals because I know that you know 5 times 1 is 5 and 6 times 3 is 18. I'm not concerned about that. I know you know how to do that. Okay, now you don't have to draw these ones right here. We'll draw them out in just a second, but write down your math equation and come back to me. Okay, draw a big rectangle now. And in your rectangle, divide it up into 3 equal pieces and divide them up vertically. Okay, so do that first and do that with your pen or your pencil. And then you're going to shade in 1/3 of them with your red colored pencil, just like I have here. Then come back to me. Okay, now that you've done that, now I know that my next fraction is 5/6. So I know that I need to divide this up into 6 equal pieces. Now, the easiest way that I know how to divide it into 6 equal pieces, I'm going to divide it up into thirds first and then divide those in half. So I'm going to do thirds. I'm going to try to do thirds here. One line there. And then I'm going to divide those in half, and that's going to give me 6s. And I know it's not quite accurate. My lines are kind of messy. I apologize for that, but just do the best that you can. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal pieces, and I have 5/6 of them. So I'm going to color in 5/6. So do that with me. Color in your 5/6 as I'm coloring in mine, and I'm just kind of doing it this way just to show the squiggly lines. Okay, and now you can see how many are double shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I were to count these out, you would see I have 18 equal parts. So 5 out of the 18 are colored in because I'm taking a part of a part. Okay. Okay, so you try one out by yourself. So solve and draw an area model for 3/4 times 2/3 and then come back to me. Okay, so you should have gotten an answer of 6/12 because 3 times 2 is 6, 4 times 3 is 12. I just drew these here to show you, but this is what it should look like, right? You should have 3 going up and down, double colored in 2, and then the other ones is in 4 equal parts, and you're coloring in 3. So here you can see how many are double shaded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 12 are double shaded. Okay. All right, try another one. Solve and draw an area model for 3/5 times 2/3, and then come back to me. Okay, so you didn't have to draw the 3/5 and the 2/3 separately. You could have drawn them together. I just wanted to show you what they look like separately. So again, so first I divided it up into 3 equal parts, right? And I colored in 2 of them in red. Then I did my fifths going horizontally, 5 equal parts, and I shaded in 3, 1, 2, 3. And you can see double shaded. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 15 is my answer. So what did you learn today? So write down in your math notebook what you learned today, and do a proof of learning by solving a problem similar. So make up your own and do your area model for it. And then if you have a reflection or a question for me. And that's it for today.